Welcome to another video review, and this is the X-Transbots Master Mini Series MMX Warrior Toro with their version of Masterpiece Cliff Jumper, since we don't have an official one. Yes, you can see he is a red Porsche 944, as he is supposed to be, and he actually comes in this box right here, which you can see has a decentish artwork on here. Not the greatest, but it's okay. You know, X-Transbots logos, you know, the figure name on the top. You got logos again, side, the car, that's a CG render. Same with this, you got a CG render of the bot mode here. On the bottom, you have a teaser for their Nemesis coming out right now, sort of. On the back, you got a wireframe bit of the robot and bio and tech specs. And again, same artwork, just with the gold G1 classic background. He's a warrior. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy. The belligerent, eager, and unwavering Toro has no equal. The one who could have ended it all with one shot but missed. He's been trying to make up for it ever since. Toro is vehemently loyal to the cause, however, his blind hatred of the enemy often gets him in trouble. He considers nuanced solutions to complex problems a sign of weakness or treasonous. This tends to plant the seed of distrust within the ranks and has almost led to catastrophic consequences more than once. Yet due to his unwavering spirit and a shortage of skilled warriors, Toro finds himself on the front lines regularly. He hosts a top 40 radio program in his free time. Multiple references there. So that's a thing. Multiple references. And of course, in the box you have, well, the card, little bio card thing. Same bio right there with the tech specs and whatnot. This is actually, I believe, plastic, believe it or not. Either plastic or it's really nice cardboard. I don't know which way. It's a nice card. And the instruction booklet. Little booklet, you know, once again, the wireframe and stuff on the back. You know, same with that. Instructions are photos and also photos of what comes inside, but they're photos with highlighting. They're actually all right photo instructions. They're all right. They're not. There's one spot I think I had a little bit of trouble figuring out what I was supposed to do, but it wasn't too bad, all things considered. But yeah, again, he is a red Porsche 944, 944. I'm not sure about proper Porsche terminology. Someone's going to correct me either way. But yeah, it rolls pretty well. Nothing really gets hindered. Clearances, it's pretty close, but it's fine. It's not catching on anything here. But yeah, it's got nice little bits picked out. It's, you know, blackened windows, although I'm not sure how well the camera picks up. Okay, you can. But yeah, those are just darkly tinted. They're not solid black for all the windows. Little indicators picked out there. Taillights are picked out nice. Same as a little bumper stripe right there. Even got a little, I think that's actually a screw. Yeah, that's a pin, I mean. Yeah, the pin right there. And again, more bumper lights. And the front grille. All that stuff's picked out really well. These headlights do not pop up in the slightest. I know some people might be disappointed by that, but that's just how it is. They do not pop up or anything. Also, there's something on there. Get off here. There. You also got the rims are black, but they do have a little silver bit of detailing. That's nice. Yeah, it's a really solid car mode. You know, it's a mini bot, so it's not exactly large. This comparison here is with the Masterpiece Bumblebee. Roughly in scale, I think. I think the Beetles may be a little big, but they're pretty close enough that I don't think most people will be too upset about it. But these two look good together as they are. So, yeah, I think it's a pretty solid one right there. Pretty solid alt mode. On top of this, he only comes, well, with a sled of weapons. In the box, it comes like this, except for these spears. These spears are separate because, well, otherwise it wouldn't fit in the box. Yeah, he's got a ton of weapons here. You can see that. They're on this tray. You know, you got the spears, which, remember, when you put them in, there's this little fork thing. There's two holes down here in that. You got to line it up properly, or else it won't hold in very well. You've got multiple guns. You got this gun with two handles and wing tips for some reason. You got, let's see, two more blasters, which are in there really tight. Yeah, you got this blaster right here. Got another blaster, if it'll come out. Yeah, that's the thing. Like I said, these are kind of a little tighter than I'd like. I appreciate that they're in there solid so they don't come out too easily, but they're a little too solid. I'm worried about breaking these little nubs, which are important for him to hold it. But Yeah, you got another style blaster. You can see there multiple styles. I'm not sure if this is just because weapons or because, and would not surprise me because the animation, they kept changing how his gun looked because inconsistency in G1 is pretty common. You got his big old cannon from the first episode where he shot and missed. Even come to the removable bipod. And this handle can move for some reason or another. Got a little, I guess, nozzle. That'll go over his hand in robot mode. And you got these things. These are actually kind of cool because they could attach to the car mode. Got a little antenna. And see there's a little cutout here. A little triangle shaped cutout. Which goes in that little notch here. Pretty straightforward. Goes in. If I line it up properly. Yeah, it goes in. It's not super secure unless you push it way down, even it'll pop out really easily. So you can roll around, just be fine, but the second you start doing that, yeah, fall right out. And you got this, the blaster. You got a little hood blaster. Now, word of warning, I accidentally broke this off when I broke the actual blaster off this when I was trying to pull it out of the sled. They were in there really tight. I had to sit there fiddling with it and to get them out, and I had to glue this back in. But yeah, just if you get yours, just be warned that these might be really, really tight and not want to come out super easily. And the final bit, as you can see, it's the sled. You can actually remove this red box, and you got the sled here. And you can actually just slip it on over under this car. It's not the greatest connection. I mean, it doesn't take much to pull the car out, but I guess you can do this and it doesn't slip out or anything. But you got to remember, if you're going to pick it up, to pick up the whole sled, not just the car. Although sometimes it'll hook in, but it doesn't take a lot to remove it. So it's kind of neat. A little sled mode, I guess. Yeah, it's kind of cool that all the weapons store here. It's kind of cool, but at the same time, it's just a lot of accessories that, for me, guess where they're going? Probably back in the box. I'm probably going to pick out 1 or 2 guns, and the rest are going all back in the box because it's just a pain in the butt to find a place for these things on the shelf or something. And therein lies the problem. Yep. Yeah, therein lies the problem. Just simply, you gotta just put them away or find a place to put them. But yeah, this is what accessories. It's just cool. It's cool. It's just for me, it's just a little too much. I just feel it's kind of just there to pad out justify the price or something like that. Sorry about that. Camera, apparently memory card is full. I forgot to delete some stuff. But anyway, transform him. To transform him, it's actually pretty simple. I have the only one other X-Transbots figure in its boost. He was a nightmare and a half. However, he is a lot simpler. I mean, a lot simpler. So first thing you want to do is untab the front from the doors, like so. See that? Just untabbed. You want to also split the front in half and then kind of pull it away from the rest of the body. And then you want to give yourself a little room to spread those out. They haven't already popped out. Untab the hood from the leg. You can see that it tabs in, so you want to untab that and then move it down to the side like this and fold it up. Go ahead and move this forward and extend the leg all the way out. There's 2 hinges there, the ratcheting hinge and this lower hinge right there. Take the wheel, flatten out, and then take this part and close it up behind. That's one leg done. Repeat the same for this side. Untab this from the leg. Move it down to the side, rotate this forward, move the hinge, so you got a straightened out leg, take the wheel, move it in, then take this piece, move it back. And those are leg done. And of course, straighten this all out. I almost forgot, actually, when you want to do all this, you want to take this tab and pull it out of the back here and move it up into here. This is supposed to, I guess, lock this waist piece from moving. But it doesn't really seem to do much of anything, honestly. Everything else tabs together so solidly that this seems little pointless. I guess it's useful, but it doesn't really serve too much of a purpose because everything else tabs together so solidly. But yeah, you need to also remove that. I just forgot. It's so easy to forget about that bit. Every single time I transform, I swear I just forget. But doors, which here you want to untap them from the side by moving them down like that. I'm going to move this up a bit because, yeah. And yeah, move them down to that. And then take this whole back section of the car and just move it back like this and then move it all down back here. Exit out of the way for this next bit. What I want to do, if you haven't already, move these doors a little bit further back. And take the arms and pull them out, down to the side. Just pull them around. Make sure they go all the way down. There'll be a little resistance, but don't let the shoulders sit too high. Move it all the way down like that. You want to take the arm and extend it out. Rotate it 180 degrees. Move the fist. Then rotate the fist forward. Make sure it's fully extended because you have to fully extend it or else you will not get full in the elbow bend. So remember that. Same on this side. Pull the arm all the way out. Rotate it 180 degrees. Fist up and rotate forward. And there, that part's done. Now back here, I'll take the head, move it up, move the platform up, and rotate the head around. Then you want to take these doors, you want to rotate around this hinge, there's a little rotation hinge, that, then close up the window into the door, like so. And then rotate the door into the body. Didn't get caught anything there. Rotate that in, so same on this side. Rotate the door around, like that. Close up the window. It's also, mine is really stiff, so I'm not sure how much that's doing anything. And then rotate into the body, like so. So mine's getting caught for some reason. And of course, it doesn't do this until I film it, figures. There we go. Rotate the body like that. Now for this whole backpack. Fabled backpack. First thing you want to do is actually pop this rear window out just a little bit. It only goes so far. Just open it up a little bit. About that far or so. And you take the wheels here and you rotate them 90 degrees inward. And you want to fold this whole panel right here. You want to fold this inward. This is the reason why you move this window out, so these wheels have room. Rotate it back. Same with this side. There's going to be a little bit of moving stuff past other stuff. Gotta rotate them both back though. So. Turn back like that. They're in. Then take the roof, fold it down like that, and then you want to move this black piece up into here, rotate the red piece back down. Make sure this black panel right here folds down against the back as well. Then rotate all up. Slide the windshield underneath the head panel. And then these two little tabs right here on the shoulders. So you see that. Yeah, there's two tabs right there on the shoulders. You can slide forward until they hit those notches, and they're in those notches. It can be a little bit of a pain sometimes. There. And there you go. You have Toro in his robot mode. Now, I'll be honest. There's been a bit of a discussion about the backpack. Yes, it's kind of big. A lot of pictures don't really do it justice. I'm going to be honest, I don't really mind it that much. I feel like the backpack stuff has been a little overblown. It's big and stuff, but it's not horribly big. It's still from the front, you can kind of see it, but it's really not that bad, honestly. I can understand people getting upset over it, but I'm personally fine with how it is as it stands. I know there's an easy mod to do. You can just punch, which I think is this pin right here. See that pin right there? I think you can punch that out, and then you this basically becomes a thing you pull off, and you got the rest of it there. And you can actually just attach and detach it as you want for car mode if you transform it. So if the backpack really does bother you, it's just a simple pin removal will fix it for you. There's also someone else who did the thing of, they just didn't transform this all the way, just kind of left this as is. It doesn't sit as well as it would normally, but it does kind of work if that is another option, if you feel this is too panely. As it stands though, I'm perfectly fine with how that backpack looks. But beyond that, beyond the backpack, I honestly feel that this Toro here is actually a really good way of doing cliff jumper. I really like how this robot mode looks from the front and everything. It kind of cheats a bit because, well, it looks like a standard Porsche 944, but also kind of, you know, cheats and does its little fake penny racer front, you know, from the cartoon and the toy and everything. And that's a different approach. Like, for example, MMC's is basically they're just actually doing a chibified Porsche for theirs, but they decided to go, you know, follow Takara's lead on this one, and I think they did a pretty good job, all things considered. I mean, there's really not a whole lot of places for this stuff to go. Who knows? Takara might figure it out, but I don't know. But if Takara can ever get to this, I mean, Porsche is notorious for difficult to work with. I know that. That's probably part of the reason why we don't have Cliff Jumper and Jazz yet. But yeah, I just really like this robot mode and everything. You know, then you got this, you know, translucent blue windows here, and it's weird because they're black in the car mode, but they're blue here to match the animation. That was clever of them. They actually went with two different colored transparent plastics. That's pretty clever. Yeah, I just think it works really well here. The only thing I feel really kind of mars it is you kind of see the windshield just kind of chilling out under his head. It's a little weird, but and people have done things like stickers or vinyl or stickers or paint to make these match more somewhat one way or the other, but it doesn't bother me that much. But yeah, I think it just looks really good here. I mean, I think there's been other things about the head sculpt is another thing people have kind of been upset about, but I don't know. It's kind of plain, but it works. It's not amazing, but it works. I'm not even sure it's totally 100%. That the head's 100% accurate to the cartoon, but I'm not too fussed about it. It works for what it is. And of course, all his accessories work here. Of course, his big old cannon. You just open the fist, and there's a little hole there in the fist, and there's a peg on the little tiny peg on the handle. Gotta line those up, which that's kind of the problem, is just getting those lined up. That can be a bit of a pain. You line them up, close the fist, and there you go. You can hold his hand. Gun. What's nice is these joints are stiff enough he can hold this big old gun, no problem. It doesn't move at all. Except when you do that, the wrist can kind of give if you start shaking like crazy. But he can hold this gun pretty well. Of course, he also has other guns which you can hold. You know, no problem. I'm not going to bother showing those because it's the same thing. Just tab them in, but you can hold them all, no problem. His this nozzle thing just slips right over the arm. Uses friction. Works pretty well if you want. So you can use an else arm if you want. He also, again, he's got these poles which you can hold around the rigid part. This rigid part that you can hold it, or this part if you want. I guess that's one way to hold it right here. That's a little loose, but if you hold them here, it's a little tighter. And of course, these poles, which is cool, is these keyed parts. Just, you know, make them perpendicular to each other and slide them together. Now you got this big old pole, which you can again hold. Even hold it with both hands because of posability and whatnot. So yeah, that works pretty well. Yeah, those accessories, and again, there's a lot of them. I'm probably gonna pick one or two of the guns and then just leave everything else in the box, but they work. Posability though, his head's on it's actually on a ball joint, I think. Well, it's weird. You can see this. The head's on a ball joint, but back here you can kind of see it. There's also a mushroom peg on the neck. So the lower part of his neck, the neck is on a mushroom peg, which can swivel. It can't absolutely swivel, but his head's on a ball joint as well. So, you know, you got left and right movement, up and down, side to side tilt. But that neck can move around, and sometimes can move around in such a way that it's a pain in the butt to fold it up properly and everything. I have it, like mine, this part, the peg, you could see the mushroom peg was showing on the front when I first got it. I had to sit there try to get it to spin around because it did not want to move. But that's an aesthetic thing. It doesn't really hinder articulation in any which way. Ball jointed shoulders though, really tight ones. So forward and back movement, outward movement all the way. Got bicep swivels, as you saw during the transformation. Got 90-degree elbows. Only you could curl, but at this size, it's not a huge demand. His wrist can swivel. His fingers can open pretty far if you really wanted to have broken hands. You can use a transformation joint to do that. So if you ever give him a sword, you got that, I guess. He's got a waist swivel, where he doesn't get hindered by the backpack or anything. Like there's just barely enough clearance there for the back in the backpack, but it's there. It doesn't get hindered at all. You probably just saw there's an ab crunch as well. It's a small one, but it's there. It also works really nicely if you want. He's got hip joints forward and back, although backwards it's a little hindered just because the backpack gets in the way. But yeah, he's got full forward, outward, 90 degrees. He's got thigh swivels. He's got this ratcheted knee up top, which gives you about 90 degrees. He's also got this. This is for mostly for transformation. This lower joint here. This one on mine. That's much easier to move this joint than it is the ratchet joint. So it's easy to accidentally break the knee, but you can give him a bit more of a curl if you want to use that second joint. This foot will get in the way, and that's pretty much as far as it goes. But it's there if you want. And his feet, you can move forward and back, and they can move side to side a bit as well. So he's got really good articulation for this size and everything, all things considered. All things considered, he's actually got really good articulation for this size. Point of comparison. Here he is next to the Masterpiece Bumblebee. See, they're roughly the same height and everything, as they should be. You see also Masterpiece Bumblebee got a bit of a backpack of his own, but it's not as extreme as Cliff Jumpers here, or Toros. But anyway, they look good together. They look really nice together. They even have that's the thing, is kind of similar stylings and everything, so it's kind of neat that X-Transbots really tried their hardest to match up with the car aesthetic, I guess. Yeah, the same size and everything, so it's really nice, and of course there's plenty of room to put an Autobot symbol if you want. But yeah, they look good. Oop. Another thing is, much like Masterpiece Bumblebee, he also has a gap in the back of his arms, like a lot of people complain about then. Not a lot of people are complaining about it here on the X-Transbot one, but I remember people complaining about it loudly on Bumblebee, that he had a gap on his side of his arms. But whatever, that's the thing that happened, but it's kind of neat. Anyway, I like this. I like this a lot. It's about, what was it, $70 I think at retail for this guy. It's a little spendy, but not too horribly so. It's well within range of what you get with Masterpiece usually. I think he's worth it. I got mine on sale because of eBay and stuff, but $70 definitely worth it. This is a really good cliff jumper between, I think this is one of 2 or maybe 3. I think there might be a third one now. Well, yeah, that's right. Ace. There's Ace, MMC, and X-Transbots. I went with this one. I do not regret it. I do not begrudge you if you won't go with another choice, but this is the one I chose. I think it's worth it. It's one of X-Transbots. I'm hearing from a lot of people that this is one of X-Transbots' best efforts so far. And I can see why. It's a lot better than Boost, that's for sure. Boost was a nightmare. I can barely stand that figure. The only reason I still have it is because it's the only wind charger available. But yeah, I think it's a good figure. If you've been scared off by X-Transbots before because of, we've heard stories about their transformations and stuff, this is not a bad transformation or anything. This is a solid, easy transformation. A lot of people are saying they're transforming without even using the instructions. I just want to make absolutely certain because, well, perfectionist. Yeah, he has a pretty straightforward transformation. He looks good in both modes, and just The only thing I can really say it can bug people is that backpack. That's the only thing I can really say is a fault for him. Also, for me personally, just the excessive amount of accessories. But yeah, his, I guess, mate hubcap, the Compromoso, I think they call it. Yeah, Compromoso. He has paint problems. This one does not. No, none of the Toros have had paint problems, but the yellow one, their hubcap stand-in, has absolutely had some severe. Every single one has paint problems. So, he's cheaper, but he has the yellow paint problem. So just watch it. I would definitely go for Toro over the other one if I were you. But your money, your choice. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend picking this guy up if you're trying to, fulfill the cliff jumper gap in your collection. So that's it. I hope you found this entertaining and informative. And I shall see you next time with another video review.